Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. And welcome to my first bi-weekly reading for the sign of Taurus, astrological reading. Yes, you're on the right channel. And I know you're probably saying, those of you who've been watching for a while, oh my God, you haven't done like astrological reading in forever. No, I have not. But you guys have been asking for them. You've also been asking for other different things. And I'm trying to incorporate them all in one. Some of you have asked for shorter readings. Some of you have asked for readings that have nothing to do with being a twin flame, perhaps and or a divine being. And I thought that I was giving you that. Well, not the divine being part. My readings are for my other readings, my typical readings are for divine beings, but not necessarily in a relationship. That's why I try to make sure that I teach different aspects of the journey, because it's about getting to understand yourself as a divine being on a spiritual journey, whether you are partnered or not. And I thought I was doing a better job at it than perhaps I have been doing, because actually what really drove this today, yes, a lot of you have been asking me, and I said over the weekend, I announced on like my love and general readings that for the first time in I don't know how long, I had no client readings to do. Like I was all cut up. And so I was going to try to get back to some of the other things that I've been, promising to bring you, and I have not. And so I began to toss around, okay, this is a good time for me to do that. Well, what cinched it was a message, a comment on the general reading that somebody posted earlier today, saying that they hadn't been to my channel in a year, although they love my readings and stuff, because they were no longer in what they felt had been a twin flame relationship, but discovered was just a lesson. And so they felt that since they no longer had that relationship, like my readings weren't for them anymore. And I felt so bad, because that, again, that was never my intention. I myself don't even identify as a twin flame. So, I'm definitely not making videos for only twin flames, but I can't argue that I have been making them, only for divine beings, but you can be single and be a divine being. You're somebody who was particularly awakened, maybe at a particular time ahead of a bunch of other people that and so you had nowhere to turn, and you find different gifts or creative outlets growing and getting stronger, but you still don't really necessarily know how to use them and stuff, then and you stumbled upon my channel, then you probably belong here, whether you're in a relationship or not. So now I will be I'm going to commit to doing these bi-weekly astrological readings, having nothing to do with divine beings or twin flames. It's just for anybody who identifies with this particular zodiac, or any given zodiac that I'm doing, sun, moon, or rising. All right, so let's get started. They'll be shorter in the future too, because I won't have to explain what it is I'm doing. People will get used to me doing this ultimately. So I've got some oracle cards here for you. I won't be shuffling live or anything on these readings either. So if you want to see live shuffles, and if I really read off the cuff, and give psychic readings or intuitive readings, you can see all that, see me demonstrate that on my other readings. Not here. I'm just going to have these already prepared out again to keep them shorter, at least after this first one. So I'm using for your oracle cards my angel therapy cards, and your overall energy is base chakra. Choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances, as your words determine your outcome. And that's a very air sort of thing, although the root chakra, it's Archangel Michael's territory. So he is the sword, right? In the Bible, the script, well, not just the Bible, the scriptures, they call him the sword. So that is very air. And it's about manifestation, really. This is magician sort of talking. And, our thoughts and words become our reality. So make sure that they're positive when you're speaking over your life. The base chakra is also known as the root chakra, and it's like our spinal column, basically. So that whole area. And if you've been having pain or anything in those areas, then there may be a need to work on that chakra. Hashtag creepy deck. Oh, goodness. I don't need that card. That's not your card either. That's not your card. Oh, they were upside down. That is your card. Oh my goodness. I had them laying the wrong direction. Face down. Yeah, we'll get better at this. Okay, so your card here is friendship. No. They weren't face down. Something about love. What the heck just happened? There was something about love that was here. Upright. Ah, yes. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I was tripping for a second. Wait a minute. True love. That's the card with which I'm beginning for you guys. So you expect to find or strengthen that over the next 2 weeks. Also using my abundance oracle for you guys. God is your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. If God is there, or in God rather, there is no lack or limitation. I was going to say, if God is there, there's no lack. That's how I read it. I need my glasses. But in God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there's plenty of abundance for all to share. Yes, especially if you connect it with this base chakra message and keep your thoughts positive. Because prayer is basically the same thing as intention, which is basically the same thing as manifestation, law of attraction, right? It's just different perspectives on it. And from the romance angel, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Some of you may be looking, maybe saying like, when am I ever going to find a mate, a partner? And again, over the next 2 weeks, something, genuine could be coming in with this true love card here. But to get to what we have going on here, this spread. So this will be a card that represents you. And this is like the people that surround you. So your friends and family. This is your work. And this is your love life. So beginning with the Emperor upright, representing your energy. Emperor upright is a very fatherly kind of card. For me, he is often a married man or a widower, a divorcee, what we call the marrying kind. Like he's got himself together and he would make a good husband. He may be older though. If you encounter the Emperor, don't just count him out because of his age. If you are the Emperor, don't consider yourself, like counted out, down and out because of your age. The Emperor is disciplined and he has a lot to teach. He's wise. And really in every aspect of your life, in terms of the Emperor, it's about discipline. So like if I'm going to talk to you about your finances, what this might mean for your finances, that the Emperor has shown up representing you. In your finances, over the next 2 weeks, you're going to need to exercise some discipline, right? Make sure your books are balanced, your bills are paid. Don't keep your eyes open so that nothing slips by you. Get organized. Make photocopies. Mark your checks down in your register. Or, I don't know, buy a money order, go to the bank, make a deposit, keep your receipts, like all those sorts of things. As it relates to love, I kind of already alluded to this, in just describing him. Yeah, he may be an older gentleman. You may find yourself falling for, or again, you may be an older gentleman and you may find yourself falling for somebody younger. And don't necessarily count the relationship out and say it's not going to work, just based on that. And I'm jumping ahead here, but in consideration that your romance card is the Ace of Swords in reverse. Sometimes the Ace of Swords can be about falling for somebody who's inappropriate for you. Whatever that means, right? We decide what's inappropriate. What is important. So, of course, I mentioned that because I'm talking about the age thing. Some people may say it's inappropriate. But who cares what people say? But what is important when the Ace of Swords in reverse shows up in relation to your love life is, you know, that saying, if somebody tells you who they are, believe them. So yes, you guys may be different. You guys, you know, it may not make sense. Somebody that you meet or that you're dealing with, but if they, you know, say like, listen, I'm not ready for commitment, or you know, they tell you how they feel or whatever, you might have thinking, oh, I don't know, but you know, like, believe them. Somebody tells you who they are, believe them. And you know, in my other line of work, with divine unions, twin flame relationships, I might not say that. You know, sometimes that's not the case. People lie, you know, or they put on a mask in those relationships. But in more of a traditional sense, and what I'm feeling, and in correlation to the Emperor also being here, the card that's representing you, yeah, it you guys might not be each other's type, for whatever reason, and that's okay. But if you know, they tell you to your face that they feel differently, or that they're not ready, or whatever, then believe it. You know, just exercise some caution, some discipline, some discipline. Spirituality too. When the Emperor shows up, it's about being disciplined. It takes tremendous discipline, like to meditate and all that kind of stuff, right? That's one of the things I'm not necessarily good at myself. I'm good at listening to like binaural tones, but sitting and being quiet and quieting my mind for an air sign, no way, no way. You know, I have to really exercise genuine discipline when I'm trying to do that. So we talked about love. We talked about finances, work. Because work doesn't necessarily equate to finances. So in terms of the Emperor in your work, your hard work, so this is for people who are already exercising some discipline and integrity and things, right? Maybe taking on a leadership role. Maybe they are specifically a leader, right? You're a supervisor, a manager, you know, something, some sort of, you know, officer of the company. And what you're doing is not going unnoticed when the Emperor shows up upright in relation to your work. And sitting here atop the Ace of Wands, again, I'm jumping around and jumping ahead. I meant to go in some sort of order. This is our first one. We'll see what happens. But I like to be organic and go with the flow anyway. So sitting here atop the Ace of Wands, if you already have a job, again, you're moving and shaking. Maybe you have an opportunity, or an opportunity is coming your way to step into a leadership role. Ask for the money that you deserve. You know, if there's a salary, like what kind of salary are you looking for? Be honest about that. Be bold. Get out there with, I'm looking for this because this is what the market's paying and this is what I'm worth and I've been doing this for X amount of years and I know my stuff. I mean, not in an arrogant kind of way, but, you know, have some confidence in yourself, in and about yourself, that you can ask for what you deserve. I need an office that does this. I need equipment that does this so I can get my job done. You know, make those requests. Or I think I've been working here, you know, a long time without getting a raise and I'd like to put in for a raise. I'm asking for a raise. Whatever, like if you already have the job. If you're looking for a job, similarly, go after, you know, again, be bold, be confident, be passionate. And if you've been, especially if you've been putting effort into looking, as far as the Emperor is concerned, it's like that kind of discipline of, you know, pounding the pavement and looking for that job is going to pay off. And then again, in connection to the Ace of Wands, you know, something definitely that you are passionate about, you know, so it's work that you're going to enjoy doing, or that you know, it's a testament to your integrity or whatever. Maybe it's something ethical or whatever, and you know, it matches your values or something. Like something very positive is coming your way. think the only one that I didn't talk about is the Four of Pentacles, right? In reverse. So as far as the Four of Pentacles in reverse, that's the way he looks upright. Here he is in reverse. In this position of your friends and or family and those of whom you're surrounding, that are surrounding you, one of them, or some of them, may be finding it difficult to let go of, could be anything, people, places, things in their lives. Maybe perhaps you could be something. Maybe it's time for you guys to part ways or whatever, and they're just having trouble. They're just holding on to something that needs to be let go. And like when it comes to work for these people, so maybe it's like a friend at work or a family member, and you might need to help them. You may need to help them to be organized because you're the emperor, right? So you've got this thing together. You can explain to them, you're wise, you can explain to them what, listen, it's time for you to move on or move past that. Give them some good advice. So as it relates to work, for example, with the Four of Pentacles, for me, it is a card that's like, when you're working at a job and it pays the bills and that's it, right? You don't like the job. It's not one of these things that you feel passionate about. You don't like the job. You don't like the people. They don't like you. They bust your balls. They give you a hard time. It's miserable to go there every day, but you do it and you put a smile on your face, a fake smile, so that you can get through the day and earn a paycheck. And that's what it is. So sometimes we're the same way with relationships. We no longer like our partner. They no longer like us. We're cordial. We can get along. May even still be like sleeping together and stuff like that, but the thrill is gone, right? The thrill is gone, and we need to talk about it and improve it if that's what we're interested in doing, or we need to let it go and move on. So somebody close to you may be dealing with a situation like that, and it can be, again, in connection to anything. Maybe it's just negative cords of attachment or emotions onto which they're holding some old, guilt, resentment, regret, whatever. And they may just need a friend. And so it's going to be up to you to decide, of course, whether you want to give them that time or energy to help them out with that. But if you do, should you choose to, it's going to be in this sort of authoritative way. Where you're sort of teaching them, putting the wisdom down on them. I do want to mention, and I don't think that I have yet, that your overall energy is the High Priestess upright, just more earth energy for me. It's even made your Arcana card 2 with Roman numeral 2, just like the sign of Gemini. Indeed, Gemini, that's Isis on the card, in between the columns of King Solomon's house. The High Priestess is somebody who uses all this sort of thing, like the Emperor, all the wherewithal that she has, her wisdom, intellect, common sense, gut feelings, intuition. She's like, super psychic, all this stuff. And then she decides what her next step is, what her next move is. And then she may or may not tell you what that next move is. Sometimes she just does things and you'll find out after she's been successful what it is. So apply that to these messages as well. And then further to that, your advice from the romance angels to the masculine: pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So the way that, or one of the ways that I read this card, I usually look to see if there's any red flags in my spread. The Emperor is actually a red flag. He's a fire sign. But the Emperor represents the planet Mars for me, the red planet, and the signs of Aries and Scorpio, which Mars rules. And so in that case, the red flag is very positive. This is a reminder that you need to pay attention to this. It's cautioning you. It's reminding you of who you are, right, over these next 2 weeks. This very commanding presence and, just about your business and getting things done. And maybe, again, taking on new leadership roles and showing others how it's done. And, being really particularly organized and disciplined in everything you do. Including, again, your approach to romance. For the feminine. Ooh. Codependency. She could be the person that's close to your right friend's family, who's dealing with something that onto which they cannot let go. And maybe that's why this is sitting right over the Ace of Swords, which is in reverse. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. And those addictions don't have to be, like substance abuse, like to alcohol or drugs. It can be to any sort of toxicity. And again, even to things like negative emotions you could be holding on to. So if this person is this person, again, you're in a position to give her some guidance, should you choose. And for you, from the Abundance Oracle, Abundance Mindset. So this goes very well, like it couldn't resonate any better really with your base chakra card. It's about positive thoughts and things for yourself. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something that you already have in the present moment, and that is what you will experience. So very important this week that you guys have focused intentions, very positive focused intentions. And if you feel yourself like thinking about something negative, like, just pay attention to your thoughts. Be disciplined even in your thoughts and catch yourself. And then, oops, let me fix that. Let me reword that, even if it's in my head, and put it in a more positive way. Feminine, for us, clearing debts, your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life, something that you need to let go of, codependency. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and to avoid future ones as well. So again, maybe getting disciplined about your finances. This masculine, okay. From the hashtag creepy deck, it is dark male, which is the representation of the divine masculine for me in this deck. And so if you are a masculine archetype and or male, you don't have to be male, you can be female. It's not gender specific or even sexuality specific. It is archetypal, like I said. So if you feel that you are of the masculine persuasion more heavily than the feminine side, then this is you. And this is, again, telling you to step into your power this week. You are the emperor, basically. Feminine. Young female. Young female is a very Sagittarius energy, if that makes any sense. It's very Jupiter for me. The card just feels like Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet and god of growth, expansion, and karma. And so this is this week, like also luck. This is this week maybe some things going in your favor. So like you're trying to work on clearing off debts or breaking away from some sort of codependent situation. Jupiter may step in this week to give you a little extra boost or help with that. And or there may be maybe an actual fire sign, and perhaps even a young female fire sign, to help to facilitate these things. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Masculine. Crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. Well, there is a crystal for every single thing. I've got one of those Judy Hall books. I've got two, actually. And I don't know how many she has, but I know that there's like more than one, and each one is like this thick. And they have an index where you can look up and see, like, I want a crystal that, deals with this and works with that. So, if you are finding yourself like stuck in some sort of situation and you do believe in crystal healing, then the cards are suggesting over these next 2 weeks you do use or purchase, whatever you need to do, a crystal for that situation. And lastly, for the feminine, throat chakra. The angels are helping you to lovingly speak your truth. And that also goes with all this air energy that's popping up here with the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords. Oh yeah, base chakra. So again, speaking loving, positive words even over yourself, and there may be some truth that needs to come out, and maybe most specifically with a romantic partner, or maybe somebody that needs to be a former romantic partner. You need to cut someone off because you're in a codependent, toxic situation that you've been holding on to way too long. So if that is the case, the angels are stepping in to help you to improve this area, right? And to lovingly speak your truth. I hope you guys have enjoyed your bi-weekly reading. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Thanks again for joining, liking, and subscribing to my channel. Be sure to catch your moon and rising sign. Namaste.